How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good.
Yeah. Long day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah.
One of those days.
Yeah. I just had I just lost my shit a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Seems to be a weird day like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Are we full moon?
So,
You ever check the moon phase?
it might be because the kids have been acting up and Luna's been acting up. Luna always acts up on a full moon.
Well, she's a howler, so yeah, she's probably
Oh yeah.
she's one of them.
Lots of banana humping going on.
Oh boy. Let me
Oh
just
boy.
let me just check for shits and giggles. Let's go let's see here. Home. And we'll go these tablets are way too slow. Let's see
So
here.
while you're doing that, you are recording, right?
Yeah.
So those of you who are like, banana, Luna, what?
Oh, she likes her
Yes.
banana.
Oh yeah. My dog, when she has the best day of her life, which happens all the time, she gets so, like, if she's had an issue where she had a walk, she played outside, there was lots of people over, she gets to see a lot of people because she loves people.
Right.
And she gets to just have a full day. At the end of the night, she gets this massive banana that's basically as big as she is.
Right.
And she humps the F out of that thing. And she tries to make you watch too. It's sort of validation. Like, you know what? As a parent, you did good by me today. We went out, we did stuff. I had a really good tasty snack.
Right.
We got to play. We get to, she likes rough house playing.
Right.
Tug of war and that kind of stuff. Like, did all the things that I love. And to show you how happy I am, I'm going to hump the fuck out of this banana.
Now, while she's
and
doing
you're going
this,
to watch and you'll know I'm happy.
so does she kind of look back at you to see if you're watching?
Yes, she absolutely does.
Oh my God.
She'll go, then she'll stop and she'll look back
That's
to see if you're watching. And then she'll go to it again. And then she'll stop, put a big smile on, panting, looking at you like, I'm so happy.
It just sounds so wrong, but hey, it's what she likes.
Hey, I'm not going to dissuade her from doing it. Like, she's not hurting anybody.
No, it's whatever
She's
makes her
humping.
happy. Yeah.
Well, she's not humping our leg.
No.
And I know it's a dominance thing, and she's a very submissive dog.
Right.
So she dominates a banana.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway,
yeah.
How's your tablet working? Do you get?
Well, it says here the moon is at 23.9%, which is they call it a waning crescent. So it's we're nowhere near it actually, which is kind of odd. But now the new moon, it says here October 27th, which is coming up.
New moon, but not a full moon.
But the actual full moon isn't until November 12th.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's called the Beaver Moon. I don't know why they call it the Beaver Moon, but hey.
The Canadian moon, eh?
That's what it says. Yeah.
It's funny. I just use a North Dakota accent to sound Canadian. The full moon, eh?
Hey.
Down in Brainerd.
In Brainerd,
Minnesota. If anyone ever sees the movie Fargo,
right,
by the Coen brothers, that accent in that movie,
yeah,
is typically the accent people associate with Canadian. I don't know why, but it's much closer to a North Dakota, northern Minnesota accent than Canadian accent. That's what I'm sure.
Well, I think it kind of depends on the director and what his thoughts are of what things should sound like. So I mean, we've got same as us. I mean, if we like Russians and Russia and any type of Oriental area, like we all have our own, and we grab them mostly from the movies, right? I mean, it's not exactly. Yeah. I mean, we'll watch something and go, oh, that's what that place looks like. It looks nowhere near what it looked like back in the 40s or 50s or whenever they're trying to portray the cultures or language.
Wow, I didn't know we were going to dive this deep.
Well, I mean, the cultures and everything are different for sure, but I mean, it's been modernized and commercialized just as much as pretty much anywhere else. I know there's places that are, especially the war-torn places where they just can't get out of their funk, being suppressed by either the military or the government or, whichever combination you can think of. But yeah, anyways, I don't think that was supposed to be the topic of the day, but.
So the topic I asked for.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this for a while, and we went on to other topics, but I had asked you to provide me an album.
Yep.
That you love front to back. Is that how you interpreted my ask?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
So I just want to confirm. So this album, you could say you could probably listen to it a lot, fairly endlessly.
I have.
And you'd almost rate it as a perfect album?
Yeah, in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we may have even touched and talked about this before, but it would be Rush, Exit Stage Left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you've probably heard it, I mean, when I used to play it years ago back east, practicing. I mean, that's pretty much, I just kept playing it over and over. And I think I went through two different cassettes because being a long play cassette, it would stretch that much easier.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't last as long. So I mean, after that, I grabbed, when CDs first came out.
Yeah, you have it on CD then?
I had it on CD, but I don't really have a CD. Everything's kind of MP3-ish or digital download. It's not. I mean, I could just go to YouTube and play it straight from there. I don't really need a CD anymore.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I actually have it on CD. I actually went out and bought it. Actually, I went out and bought that one, and then I kind of wanted to go back to the stuff that you would practice endlessly in your bedroom.
Right.
So I picked up that. I picked up 2112.
Okay.
I picked up and Fly By Night.
Right. Yeah, I had all those cassettes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I played them endlessly. And then as soon as, as soon as I heard Van Halen's, actually it was the 1984 album. And that's kind of a close second, third, I guess you could say. Because once I heard Van Halen 1984, it was like, what the hell is this? Not realizing that they had Van Halen 1, Van Halen 2, Diver Down, Women, Children. I didn't know that those existed at that point. But as soon as
Did you think that was like a first album at the time, like for them?
Well, I mean, I think that was the time when we had the dish and we had satellite TV, when we had MTV or Music or which one.
We had MTV. That's exactly what we had.
Yeah, and then I heard Jump and it was like, whoa. And then it was Panama. I was like, whoa. So I was like, who are these guys? So I kind of delved into it a little deeper and found out that they had multiple albums. And then once I heard those, I was just blown away. I mean, along with a lot of other, I mean, that's not 100% a guitarist, but back in that time, in that era, Eddie was, the king. Like in my mind, he still is. Like there's nobody that's like him. Like a lot of people, might play similar to his style, but his style was just so unique. And when I heard Alex Lifeson playing with Rush, just the sounds that he made, and he had it was a hollow body guitar, and it was the very first videos. I think they had. I can't remember. What was it? Was that the name of the actual videos that they had? Was it from Exit Stage Left?
Oh yeah, it was all
It
was like a shorter version. It was like a shorter version of the album. It didn't have all the songs.
Yeah.
But it was a shorter version.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Of that album. Yeah, I don't know how many times we watched that.
Yeah, and they're all dressed out in, was it kimonos and?
Yeah.
And his big mustaches.
I think out of all the, like, I watched a lot of live videos, but the ones that always get replayed over and over again was that one.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss Animalize.
Yeah.
Live concert from Animalize, which I've watched 1,000 times.
Right.
And the other one was Ozzy Osbourne, Ultimate Sin.
Which one?
Ultimate Sin. It had Jake Lead guitar.
Okay, yeah.
That was kind of my first time like seeing like Jake Lead was. You know, as much as Randy Rhoads is the guy,
right,
the Ozzy guy that everyone else associated with, or their favorite guitar player, and Ozzy.
Right.
Me, it was Jake Lead was my introduction. Bark the Moon was my introduction to Ozzy.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. The Bark at the Moon. And when I heard you can see the bass player just chugging around when you can see his head's moving, and all of a sudden Jake goes into his solo, and it's like, whoa.
That drummer, like Randy Castillo,
mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that guy can't be, like, that guy's fucking, like, that guy was fucking amazing. Yeah.
He works
out. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he was amazing, as a drummer, like, it was just, like, I used to rewatch the drum solo from that concert video over and over, just to watch Randy Castillo play.
Right.
And he played around his kit. He actually got up and walked around the kit and continued his drum solo, walking around the outside of the kit.
Oh, like just kind of hitting the metal, the frames and whatnot.
Yeah, hitting the metal. Yeah.
Clickety click and clack
and every side of the kit.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. But anyway, the thing I wanted to do is maybe we can continue this maybe tomorrow or the day after or something. But I kind of want, so your favorite album, Exit Stage Left, I kind of wanted to go kind of a little bit track by track.
Okay.
Just to get your impression track by track.
Okay.
And then maybe we can do 1984 in the second half of this or whatever.
Okay.
So what's the opening track?
Well, the opening track is Spirit of the Radio. And
diddle-doo.
Now, this was the very first track that I've ever heard Rush play, I believe, because this was at Randy's through his stereo.
Oh.
So
okay.
When I first heard it, I went, oh, this is way different than the stuff I hear on the radio, because we had CKCW in Moncton, which was AM.
Yeah, which is Burton Cummings all the time, and Glenn Campbell.
And then we had 10, I can't remember what the station was, FM, came out as clear as a bell, but straight country music. And I was like, no, that's not what I wanted to listen to. I wanted to listen to the rock station, but in stereo, not this mono, just staticky stuff. So, so when I heard Spirit of the Radio, I was just blown away.
That's one of my all-time favorite songs from them.
Yeah, I mean, and just trying to learn the intro with the harmonics, which was fun. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to learn. The whole album. I mean, we never had. Well, we had tabs because Guitar Magazine had tablature in it for some songs. So I actually had a binder, and I would cut them out and put them in sleeves and different bands. I kind of organize it all that way. But I never really sat down with any Rush album with tab to figure out how it was played. It was kind of all played by ear. Since then, I mean, I've purchased the book, but I've just been too lazy to sit down and actually figure out, how things were played correctly. So that was the first one.
First song.
Now, Red Barchetta.
Oh. Yep.
That was that was the one with the harmonics at the beginning. I'm getting my songs mixed up here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some hammer-ons and pull-offs with Spirit of the Radio that were kind of different, that I'd never played before. So it was quite the thing. And then once you got it, it was like cool. It sounded cool.
Yep.
You'd be playing it all the time. But So Red Barchetta was a very cool song with those harmonics at the beginning, and I mean Geddy Lee in the bass and just the sound of it.
Oh my God!
The way it comes through, it's just so him. Yeah, just so driving. It was just awesome. And then the song after that is YYZ.
Which has the long drum solo in it.
Yeah, so at the very beginning, I mean, when we used to play with the Sitches years ago, that was one of the songs we would actually play. And
Yeah.
at the time, and I don't know if they still play or not, but yeah, the drummer and the bass player were just, he had I think it was a homemade bass that he kind of made, and I think it was fretless, I believe. But those two, yeah, so those two guys, when they went, I mean, you could just sit back and just watch these two play, just awesome.
Oh, they were great. I sat in a couple times to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah. So that was Wawazy. Actually, I think we played it also with Norm and Mike. Zap too, Mark. I believe we had played it also. Well, actually, in high school, that's what we had played. We had played Rush songs. That's what we played.
Because because they had some good instrumentals. You guys didn't have vocalists.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ideal, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was no vocalist, obviously. I mean, we didn't really know anybody that could hit, those notes.
Nope.
Let alone we didn't really know any singers per se that would sing that type of stuff. So, but yeah, that was a really good tune. Closer to the Heart. I mean, everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
I think even on the Trailer Park Boys, I think Alex Lifeson actually teaches Bubbles how to play at the beginning of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good tune. Beneath, sometimes the names don't really say a whole lot. Beneath, Between, and Behind.
Yeah.
I kind of have an idea of what it is in my head, but I'm not too sure. But that was another one. I mean, I played it right from front to back, so it was just one after the other. And I mean, you knew it was coming up, and you knew how many milliseconds there was between one song and the next song. You played it so many times. And then Jacob's Ladder, it kind of starts off slow, and then just kind of goes right into it. Yeah. And then Bruins Bane, same. And then the Trees, when it starts off with the acoustic. And
what a beautiful song that is.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice song. I learned it on the acoustic, and I played it all the time because it sounded good to my ears, so it was very uplifting.
Yeah.
Xanadu. Oh yeah.
Oh God.
That's a big one. Yeah, we played that one quite a bit. That was a really, really good tune. Free Will.
Yep. Oh, Free Will. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
amazing lyrics in some of these songs too. Just mind blowing.
Yeah, and right, and none of their music was actually. You start off with you have. Like you'll have the intro, you'll have a chorus, you have a bridge. Like these guys had it figured out a little differently. It wasn't like your normal song. So when you listen to it, if you weren't into Rush and you listen to it, you'd be like, well, it's kind of drawn out, or it just kind of goes off left field, because it didn't really follow the same kind of structure. They kind of modified it a bit. And Tom Sawyer, that's a huge one. I mean, I think everyone would know.
I'd skip that one. I skipped that one and Closer to the Heart.
You like Closer to the Heart better?
No, I would skip both of them.
Oh, yes.
I was more into the deep. I mean, at first, those are the songs that you like because they're the most acceptable. But later on, it's like, no. I want to hear the deep stuff, the long jam stuff. So what's after that?
Right. The one after that is La Villa Strangiato.
Oh God, yes. I've seen you and your band play that one.
Yeah.
That's probably the standout one, like probably my favorite song that you guys played.
Yeah, it just kind of starts off with the strumming and the just all the notes kind of ringing out. And then it just gets right into it. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones to play. And we played that one with Norm, Mike, and Mark too, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were the staples. We used to go to, I mean, Friday night we'd go to Mike's, and then Norm would come over and bring his bass, and Mike would play the drums, and I'd bring the guitar over with my PV, was it PV Renowned or Renown?
Yep.
Yeah, and then we'd play till God knows, I don't know, 10 o'clock, and then after that we'd hop in his Chevette and he'd have his stereo blasting going to Moncton, and we hit, was it McDonald's first to grab the fries, and then we'd go to Burger King to get the burgers. And then we'd sit in the parking lot and crank the tunes and listen to them, and just kind of watch the people drive by. So that was back when life was simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at that time, you don't think it is. But then again, you don't know what lies ahead in life either. So it kind of depends on what route you take. But yeah, it was a different time. It's almost like a different chapter. Because when you think of back home, it's almost like, when you're awake and when you're sleeping, and when you're sleeping, you tend to have the same type of dreams.
Yeah.
I'm always in a storm for some reason. I'm always in a house trying to find a way out, or I'm trying to find something. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why that is, but for some reason, when I think of back home, like prior to say grade 12, and prior to that, it almost just seems like a whole different world, almost like a dream world, until you actually go down there and go, hey, this is where I grew up.
It's like there's like one layer almost. It's like one layer. It's pure.
Yeah.
But now it's like the complexity.
It's a different layer. And then when you go down to visit, everything's changed. So
yeah,
it's whatever was in your mind at the time before you go down. That's what you remember.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the whole album.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm home.
And you're home.
Wait, so favorite track? La Villa Frangiato?
Between YYZ and La Villa, yeah. Between those two. Because they were such a awesome songs to learn too. They weren't easy, but they were definitely fun. And when you're trying to play through a basement amp that's pretty much clean, there's not a whole lot of overdrive available, except for amps nowadays. Like now I just got a little dinky Yamaha THR 10X, and it blows away any amp I've ever owned in my life. I've hand wired my own Marshall type tube amp. I bought a kit and I soldered it all together and put it together, and it's like 18 watts. But it's still even with chaining the different drives together, with all the squealing and howling and everything, which is a major thing when you're trying to play, especially if you're trying to play and then when you stop playing and everything's supposed to be quiet and everything's just screeching out of control. But now with the noise gates built in and everything, it's just and the way things sound, it's just awesome. I wish I would have had this thing way back then. Yeah,
no kidding. Well, back then you learned to improvise with what you have.
Yeah, I think I had an overdrive pedal.
We had that's the thing. There's no money too, right? You had no money, so it's like you had. Like I remember, like one of my cymbals cracked, and I just kept playing with it. Like, I don't have the option to buy another one, and it was hard to go. Like the music stores in Moncton, it's not where we live. Like it's not like now you can go to a million music stores, but back then there was no comic shops, there was no music shops. You had to go somewhere else to go to one.
Yeah,
like it's not like now. You can order shit online too. Like, but back then, everything was expensive, and if you want to get anything, to have a tablet, like nowadays, like if we even had the concept of that sort of thing back home, like back in the day,
right?
You could watch TV in your room on this little device. You had to fight for the TV, and if you wanted a guitar or a new pair of strings, it was like, well, work with what you got. Like it's kind of how it always was.
Oh my God, I don't know how many times I've boiled the same set of strings.
Yep.
Just to get them kind of that teeny sound again instead of the just kind of flubby.
I remember that.
Yeah, at Moncton Music, that was the only place we had. It wasn't like there was competition. We didn't have Amazon. There was no. It was a different time. And
they could charge whatever they want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you going to drive to St. John? To go get some strings, or are you going to buy them in Moncton? I guess I'm going to shop locally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had the mail order catalog. I can't remember the name of the place, but they sold Carvin.
Oh, okay.
Carvin amps and
Yeah,
guitars and stuff. Yeah, it was a cool catalog. It was like a candy store. It was almost like the Sears wish book for guitars. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was way too far away. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm home. We're gonna go see my kids.
Alrighty then.
Let's talk 1984 tomorrow or whatever day you're good.
Okay. Maybe.
And then we can cover the swag that I picked up today.
Okay. Yeah, I saw I saw your thing on Facebook there.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
Yep. So let's talk about that, and we can talk about our guest appearance on Beaver Does Movies too.
Yeah.
Coming up. I actually have a date, and I'm just confirming with my wife on that date, but we're going to do a crossover with Mr. Beaver.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello? Or should I say good evening? Good evening.
Oh, I just had a hell of a massage.
How do you feel? Do you feel high as a kite?
Oh, yeah. I feel all fucked up.
Are you sure you can drive?
Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
Because I know after I have a massage, it's like you're almost in a daze.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
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 But if you're in a car accident, you'd probably be the most relaxed.
Yeah, you just flop along.
Yeah, it's like drunk drivers. I mean, usually everyone else gets killed, but the actual driver, because they're just so loose for some odd reason. But yeah, well, after you've had a massage, it's just awesome. Then you're gonna sleep well tonight.
Honestly, awesome thing.
Yeah, that's something I haven't gone and done for a while.
You're due.
Yeah, I am due. I gotta find one close by.
Yeah, closer by. Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't bad. It's 5 minutes from work.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
It actually works really good for me. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big accident I heard on right by your house.
Really?
Yeah.
Like on Waverly?
Right by Brady, I guess I guess a car got sandwiched between two semis.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just on the news. It was pretty gruesome. Yeah, and apparently it's not the first time they've had accidents. They've had quite a few of them there.
Oh, there? Probably, yeah. If it's around the Brady Street, like on the perimeter, then that's a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Mm-hmm.
So we're sold out of T-shirts.
Wow, that didn't take long.
2 days.
Wow.
It never got out. It never. Hi, folks. We have T-shirts for sale. Not anymore.
Sold out.
Sold out. We're between episode releases, and we're already sold out. Like I was, I'm going to make a big announcement. We have T-shirts for sale. Come buy them. We had T-shirts for sale. They're sold out. I'm going to order more. They look great. I don't know if you saw. I posted a picture of it on the Instagram.
Okay, who was wearing the shirt?
That's one of my managers.
Oh, okay.
At work.
Yeah.
She said she bought one right away.
Right.
And she sent me a picture. She said, "You're free to use this on all your social media. Go pimp your product."
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, free model.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was very, very nicely displayed. Shirt.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they look good. So you'll never see what they look like until we do another print run.
Yeah, well, I kind of caught the side of it. It kind of had a kind of a Nixon kind of look to it, but I think it was just the way the shirt was kind of folded.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna, I guess, put an order in. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. It feels so good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put an order in for some more. I'm also pricing up some hoodies as well, and maybe some caps. I don't know. What do you think?
Like ball caps?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I'm pretty sure he does ball caps. I'd like to keep everything in house there with Devine shirt.
Yeah, just find out what items he does. Like, does he do like buttons and stuff, or?
Yeah, I know what he does. He doesn't do buttons. He has a company that does buttons with him.
Right.
He does stickers for sure.
Oh, well, yeah. So at Keycon, you'd be able to bring a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so at Keycon next year in 2020, you should have a whole bunch of. We'll make sure we're stocked up for it for sure.
Yeah, you don't.
And again, Keycon, if you're listening to this, I don't know, make us an official guest of the con. We're cheap. You don't have to fly us nowhere.
Cool.
Yeah, the PDX broadsides are going to be at Keycon this year. We gave the giveaway of their CD at last Keycon.
Yeah.
They're going to be there this year.
Yeah, they're going to make it this year. Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Keycon this coming year is going to be quite the changed event. It looks like there's a lot more seems to be going on than in past years.
Like, what are you seeing, Todd? Tell us.
Well, I mean, I'm just seeing the community grow, and one of the major things that I've seen this year is the LGBTQ. I don't want to say it wrong.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Yeah, there's a big involvement. It seems like, and now they're having like special, I guess, rooms and stuff for different some people that are, I guess, need to kind of get away from everyone. Like they have like a quiet spaces and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. That's good. That's a great idea.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of things. I haven't like delved into it to find out all the details, but from what I've seen, it looks like there's quite a few changes for the better.
That's good. Yeah, some people don't want to go because of that, that social anxiety. And unfortunately, a lot of the people in our community, this is something we suffer from, right?
Yeah.
And to have a nice safe room.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
More inviting. Hey, the more inviting it is, the more safe it is, man.
Right. I predict.
We can do it.
I predict after the con coming this year, it's going to explode. Because once word gets out, once all these things are implemented and all the people that are there and they talk to the other people, their friends and stuff, and they want to come down to the con, I'm sure it's gonna blow up. It's gonna
Keycon, you heard it here first.
Yeah, it's gonna thrive.
It's gonna be your big year.
It's going to really thrive because I think they're trying to get back to the grassroots of writing and stuff too. So there's going to be more of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
More
which is good because I mean that's what it is. Less media, more writers and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, should be.
If we get bumped for more writers, I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But wait, maybe this year I would be one of those writers.
Oh.
Interesting. We'll talk about that later, but I want to talk about the other album you had on your list that we started.
Now, what album did I give you?
You gave me Exit Stage Left. That's what we talked about last time.
Yes, that was.
And then you had mentioned talking about 1984.
Yes.
By Van Halen.
Now,
are you warbling onto something else, maybe?
No, I think the 1984 was my introduction to Van Halen.
Right.
Not so much my favorite album, because I don't really have a favorite album, because I was looking at them all and I'm going, you know what? I can't pick one because every album has something that I really like. And it's not even above anything else. It's just the whole thing. Like Women and Children First was a great album. I loved it. Diver Down I liked. It was a different, and there was more covers on it, but they did such an awesome job just because that's who they are and how they do things. But I think when things started to peter off was not so much peter off, but as soon as 5150 came out and Sammy showed up. Okay, so basically 1984 was the last album before Sammy showed up, right? Yep. So I kind of caught the tail end of the band at their peak, But then
I
everything.
think as many of us did,
So,
like a lot of us weren't on for Van Halen when it was too underground still kind of at that point.
It's kind of like watching the last episode of Star Wars and then going backwards, right? Because I started with 1984 and then I went backwards to see what this whole discography, like what type of music they played. And then when I heard the guitar, I was like, oh my God, it sounds like, and everyone's trying to, well, not everyone, a lot of guitars trying to chase that tone, right?
Oh yeah.
And the tone, the best explanation I can find is it sounds like an amp that's just ready to explode.
Yeah.
Like have you ever gone into a room, a mechanical room or an electrical room, and you can hear the hum?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's almost like what's going on. Like it's like if you've never heard it before, it's like
that sound you hear right before you hear the pop.
Yeah, it's like kids that hear a lawnmower for the first time. They just run away screaming. It's like, what is this? It's gonna blow, type thing. So it's kind of like it's the amp with the the tubes cooking and everything, and just the raw power and the brown sound. So that's to me that's the pinnacle of a guitar tone for me, and I think a lot of people growing up in the 80s and late 70s, 80s, and even 90s. I've yet to hear a band, except for, oh great, no, I don't remember the name.
What have been approximated that sound?
No, oh my God. They used to be an actual Van Halen cover band. They used to be called Atomic Punk.
Steel Panther?
Steel Panther, yes. Steel Panther is probably the closest thing out there now to Van Halen. Probably because they used to. I mean, that was.
Well, they used to do Van Halen.
That's all they did, right?
Yeah.
So he had the tone, the look.
So they were Atomic. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, because then when I saw the band, the Steel Panther, and I went, wait a minute, these guys look familiar. Yeah, so oh yeah. If you get a chance, I mean, I saw one of their videos. Okay, and it was probably the most, for a normal person, most probably disgusting video you could probably ever see. And they're big on the 80s thing where it's like women and sex and the whole shebang, right? So there's one song, I think it's called Glory Hole.
Oh yeah.
And it's warped. It's warped in the manner that Family Guy with Stewie is warped. Like it's a different spin. They just kind of take it and they just add a turbo to it. And actually, if you've ever,
they're almost Spinal. It almost feels like Spinal Tap too. It's like there's a joke.
Yeah.
They're in on it.
Yeah.
But are they in on it?
Well, they're in on their own joke, but it works.
Yeah.
That's what people.
Yeah, it works.
It's what people want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, why not? Like, I'm sure when they figured out, you know what, they make more, or they wanted to express themselves in a different manner, which was when they started Steel Panther to write their own tunes. I don't know if it was a progression where they would do most of Van Halen stuff and then they started putting out their own stuff, or if it was just okay, we're going to cut off here, and now from now on we're going to try and do their own. And they did their own advertising. Like if you watch some of the documentaries of them, like they've created their own history and their own persona. Like they've been around for forever, and they've just kind of just coming out more so now. So but it works.
Well, the nostalgia factor is like really big right now. So like nostalgia bands are huge.
Yeah.
And they can kind of be that nostalgia band without being that nostalgia band. Like the look is nostalgia, but they're getting to play their own songs.
Yeah, well, they use they use multimedia, to their advantage, to their full advantage for.
They're savvy. They're very savvy.
Yeah, like Satch. I mean, he's that amp that I have, that little Yamaha THR10X that I have. I mean, Satch he demos this amp, right? And it sounds just like Van Halen, because that's the sound that was the sound that I was looking for, and that's what he uses. That's what a lot of people use for their amps. I mean, other people that I know that they demo stuff with the 50 and 150 amps, which was made. I think that was a Van Halen brand, or Eddie made that type of amp. And this little thing is just rips. But I've got mine through Studio Monitor, so it may not sound the same, because I think they only come in an 8-inch speaker. But when I run it through the headphones, just straight into my monitors, oh my God! You just stand in front of it and you just hit a note, and just stand there and just just start drooling. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, the Van Halen albums, like I said, they're all good. Once Sammy hit, it kind of changed the flavor a little bit.
Yeah.
It went from chocolate to, they added some, almond or something.
Yeah, it was a different flavor altogether. It's like not even the same band.
Yeah, they took, and Eddie went and changed his tone a bit at that point. Not too much, just a little bit. It wasn't so brown anymore. But then he had different amps that he was using. But
like
then,
beige.
Yeah. What's that?
The beige. It was the beige sound. It was no longer the brown sound. It was the beige sound.
It's got watered down. It's beige sound, yeah. Because I had Live Without a Net, which was one of their VHS tapes at the time.
Yep.
That they had.
Seen that 1,000 times.
Yeah, I watched that many times. Eddie's in his, I don't know, diaper pants, pink diaper pants. But back then it worked. I mean, that was the shtick.
Yeah, parachute pants and tight pink tank top.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then,
but 5150, I think, was a strong album, though. Like, all things aside, I mean, it was a different sound, but that was a ballsy album. That was a really good album.
Well, everyone was waiting. Like after 1984, it was like, oh, the band broke up, and it's like, oh my God, and all these Van Halen fans are like, what the hell? Like they want more. They want more. Like, what's going on? So finally, when we found out Sammy was coming on, it's like, I don't think anybody really cared. Just put something out.
Yeah.
And Sammy had his famous Can't Drive 55. That was pretty much the only tune I really know he was with. I mean, he was with Montrose, and I didn't really know.
He said it was very successful. I think he was just smart on the contract negotiation side, because when he was in Montrose before that, he was kind of a hired gun. Like, he was just like a rookie in that band.
Yeah.
And he didn't know anything about the music business when he was in Montrose. But when he went solo, before he joined Van Halen, he knew how to do up his contracts. So his contracts were lucrative. Like, he owned his royalties, I think, and stuff like that. He was much smarter. So by the time he joined Van Halen, he took a pay cut to join Van Halen, because Van Halen didn't have good publishing deals. They never did.
Oh.
But Sammy had better publishing deals.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really follow that part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and after what the album came out after that? OU812?
OU812.
Or was it for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge? We went to that.
No, that was
concert.
after. So OU812 was first, and then for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge was next.
Right. And I mean, they're good albums, and there's nothing wrong with them, but they're a different flavor.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I mean, you'll have people on both sides of the fence. You'll have the ones that are the David Lee Roth fans, Diamond Dave, or the Sammy Hagar, or you'll have the ones that like them both, or you like the ones that only, it. And then when Cherone showed up.
Oh, God.
Wow.
You know what?
That was a train.
I have nothing bad to say about Gary Cherone.
He is a great guy. Porn Graffiti, awesome album, awesome singer. It's just, it's like, it's mixing two ingredients that just don't belong together. They're great on their own, but just...
I think I have a theory here that I'd like to share if I could.
Sure.
In that, when David Lee Roth was in the band, he's been doing a lot of Van Halen talking lately, because he's got this residency in Vegas that he set up to do. I think he's doing, I don't know, like 6 dates or 7 dates or I don't know, something like that. And he's going to be playing Van Halen. He said, I am the face of Van Halen now. you know, I'm the only representation of Van Halen now, I guess, of the David Lee Roth years, because Sammy's been representing Van Halen all along, but his time in the band. And he's been saying a lot of stuff. He talked about how David Lee Roth was saying a lot of the stuff that, you know, I wrote all of those songs. But he clarified what he meant was that when he was in the band, Eddie would have, you know, some riffs, some licks, and it was Dave that organized everything.
Okay.
You know, you do this lick, and then you do that lick, you know, and he was writing a lot of the structure of those songs, because Eddie and Alex were really good with coming up with the hooks,
the riffs and hooks, yeah.
But they weren't organized. It was just, you know, a barrage of, you know, fast playing and weird bendy tricks on the guitar.
Right.
But he basically said, you know, I would organize the song so it had a chorus, a verse. You know, I wrote all the vocals and melodies, and you know, all the lyrics. And I would compose, like I would take the song that they came up with and compose it, because that was David Lee Roth's background. He was very highly trained in music. Mm-hmm. And then when Sammy joined, and this is why I think the sound was quite a bit different. When Sammy joined, he played exactly that same role. Eddie and Alex would come in with, you know, a little bit of something. It wasn't a formulated song. Then Sammy would massage that into a song.
Right.
He would organize the song into verses and choruses, et cetera, the same way Dave did.
So a different composer.
Right. So, I mean, it's still Eddie and Alex coming up with the riffs and the licks and, you know, the hooks and all that, mm-hmm. but it's just, they're not organized. When Gary Cherone came in, or Cherone, however you pronounce it,
right,
he came in thinking, I'm just going to write a vocal, and it didn't work that way. So Eddie and Alex had to compose the songs, because they'd never really done that before. So the train wreck, so that's why I can't say nothing bad about Gary Cherone. He came in, here's a guy who doesn't have the level of experience, success, or anything of a Van Halen level, comes in, always was a huge Van Halen fan, mm-hmm. and he's coming in to work. He's not there to write songs. He's not there to tell Eddie, you know what, this lick really sucks. Why don't you just do it this way? He doesn't have the balls to do it,
right,
or the stature to do it. And I mean, if you were poached, if you or I were poached to be in Van Halen, we would not tell Eddie and Alex anything. We would do it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. You know, that's how it would work. So I think that's why that was a train wreck. I don't think Gary could do anything.
He was definitely not. I don't think he was treated as an equal.
Oh, he definitely wasn't.
Per se, like he definitely was the hired hand, I guess, or you want to call it.
Oh yeah.
But I bought the album anyway.
He was. Yeah, I never did. I heard it like. Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know how true that theory is, but that's kind of my theory. That's my understanding of what I think happened.
Yeah. So, have you heard? Is he doing anything now? Cherone?
Who's that? Cherone? Yeah, I think Extreme is still kind of doing stuff. Like, he's still really good friends with Nuno Betancourt, but Nuno Betancourt's gone off, and he's doing a bunch of his own solo stuff. Yeah. He's been, like, teamed up with, like, Satriani and Malmsteen and those guys.
Right.
By quite a bit. He's been doing a lot of guitar stuff.
Oh.
Those guys.
Well, I know he has his own, his guitar is called, was it N2 or something?
Yep.
He was actually, a friend of mine was actually went to the NOM show, I think it was last year, and I think he put on a clinic, I think, and then they played. So actually he's got a bunch of pictures, and I think he's got a picture of him holding one of his guitars.
So was it just Nuno, or was Gary there too?
I don't know. He was just kind of taking pictures of Nuno. So
okay.
I'm not too sure on that one.
The Portuguese wonder, Nuno Betancourt. Yeah. One of the proud exports of Portugal.
Yeah. Awesome player.
Yeah, he's really good. He's inventive too. I've been actually re-listening to Porno Graffiti again. And it's just so good.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about perfect albums, like the albums that are perfect front to back, that work as a whole, mm-hmm. that's for me, that's up there with it.
Well, I used to have
story, conceptual album, and their songwriting is just off the charts.
Yeah, I had the cassette, and I'm sure I've played it. I played it multiple times, to the point to where it just kind of stretches.
Stretched out, yeah.
But
It's a longer tape too, so those tend to stretch.
Yeah, like when I had my first, when I first got exposed to Van Halen, and then I went and bought the tapes, right?
Yeah.
But the tapes, I played them so much that they would stretch and warble and stuff, which is terrible. But yeah, back then they didn't have the technology they do now.
No.
But I played them and played them and played them, and just in awe of the sound. And I had my Uncle Junior's basement amp that I played for years. And then I had a Japanese SQ series Squire Strat from like '84, but they were all single coils. So I couldn't replicate the sound. And being, of course, I wasn't, like I said, I think on the last episode, I've actually built my own amp, like soldered all, like I had to have the instructions, right? But I basically hand built this thing. So I at that time, I didn't know anything about tube amps and how they worked. All I knew is when I turned it on, the little lights would come on in the tubes to say that, okay, it's on. It's going to take about, 30 seconds or 10, 20 seconds before it warms up, before you actually hear anything. And there was always this one little tube way at the back that I would have to wiggle to get it to seat properly so that I could get sound from the amp. Not knowing all the gain stages and how everything all worked, if I would have known then what I know now, and even guitar setup and all that, I would have been off running a little more confident in what I was doing, and trying to get the sound I wanted, because it was almost like a clean sound that you're just trying to turn up, right? And you're trying to get the same tone, and you can't get it. I mean, I even went out and bought a set of EMG pickups, which are pretty hot pickups, and they're a lot of guys use them for metal and stuff now.
Yeah.
So they didn't squeal or anything, because you've got a 9-volt battery that just kind of changes the ground and everything, so you don't snap your lips if you put your face up to a microphone type thing. But yeah, good albums.
Yeah.
Good albums.
Good album. I want to do more of these, talking about albums. I like that we didn't talk about 1984 front to back. I like that we actually talked about Van Halen historically with you. I think that's actually much more interesting.
Yeah, there's I excuse me, I had taped something a while back, and it was a party. I think it was a Van Halen party, or it was after party or something or other. But I don't think I ever watched it. But I had it on VHS, so I'll have to look. It's probably on YouTube now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, because I mean, when you have a band that you really like, you always try and find as much reading material as you can find. I mean, you'll definitely read things over and over that are the same. Plus, you'll find some new stuff in there. Like
yeah.
And Dave's dad was a prominent lawyer, wasn't he?
Dave's dad, he was a dentist.
Dentist.
Yeah, I think he was a dentist.
I thought he was a lawyer.
A
doctor.
No,
Okay.
and family was really well off too.
Yeah, like it wasn't like he was living off the street or anything, and worked his way up to, he was a privileged kid who was able to make a really good life for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm almost home here, bro.
Oh, okay.
This is fun.
Yeah. We didn't even get into Valerie Bertinelli or Michael Anthony's drinking, or
oh god,
there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I think Alex isn't he an ordained priest now?
Oh God, I don't know. Maybe.
I'll have to look that up again.
We'll have to look that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have. I have a date for you for our appearance on the James Beaver Show, which I will send you.
Perfect.
November 15th, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
The Friday. So we're going to be in studio with the Beav himself.
With the Beaver.
We should call him that.
The Beaver. Beaver no cleaver.
Awesome. I'm excited. We're going to watch a movie and then talk about it, but he's not telling us what the movie is.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. So
now, did he say he was providing popcorn?
I don't know. We might have to ask him about that, or maybe we got to bring popcorn with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could. If he has a microwave, we can bring some Orville or something over and pop that. And
well, we got to have popcorn. We're watching a freaking movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the advantage of smelling the popcorn because I can't smell or taste anything. But yeah, it definitely adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to spill pop on the floor and get all sticky too, just to get the full experience.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you on the flip side. Send me the audios and we'll pop this up for Monday. And yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
On the flip side.
All right then.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Right.
Okay. See ya.